who would you like to attribute this success of yours?
Well, obviously the teachers come first.
What kept you motivated during this entire journey?
Well, it was really the end goal that I was looking for. When you know that you have the capability, you have the potential, only hard work separates you from your goal, then nothing can stop you. You just wake up every day, you study, you sleep, you study. Just it goes on forever until the rank comes.
Every student has those kind of subjects which they find very challenging. So which was that subject for you?
Well, it was really mathematics, but it's not particularly mathematics in general that scares me. JEE mathematics is a different game from normal maths. It's competitive, right? It's time based.
When students are appearing for the exam and attempting the paper, what would your advice be?
And never be scared to attempt something you don't know. You should ask your doubts. Whatever concepts you don't understand, you should really get them cleared. That is the only thing which will help you in the actual exam.
Hello everyone, I'm Aspirants and welcome to Narayana Educational Institutions. Today is a day of great honor and joy for us at Narayana because after all, our students, Narayanites, have dominated the JEE Advanced 2025 examination results. And among the various success stories, I have the shining star of the day with me, who is Sahil. So Sahil, congratulations on your incredible result. So how does it feel to be rewarded with such an amazing rank?
Well, it feels brilliant actually, and we've been celebrating for the past few days. It is surreal actually, and I can't believe it, but it worked.
And what was your parents' reaction? Were they expecting this sort of a result?
Well, they always knew I would do well, but this particular rank they never expected. So, yeah, they celebrated. Yeah.
It must be a dream come true moment even for them, right?
Yes.
So, if I may ask you, who would you like to attribute this success of yours?
Well, obviously the teachers come first. They're the ones who really taught me everything, and parents. My parents, they supported me in every step of the journey. So, and I would like to especially thank my brother. He also has given the JEE Advanced examination, so he has first-hand experience. So he really guided me in that way, and his practical approach was very appealing to me. So I really used that when I was writing the actual exam.
Yeah, so that must have been an advantage for you, right? Because he has also given the exam, so he would have shared his tips and tricks with you, which would have worked for him. Now, you spoke about your journey, right? We know how exhausting, draining and tiring this entire journey can be, but also fulfilling when it comes to your results, right? So what kept you motivated during this entire journey?
Well, it was really the end goal that I was looking for, that rank. When you know that you have the capability, you have the potential, and only hard work separates you from your goal, then nothing can stop you. You just wake up every day, you study, you sleep, you study. Just it goes on forever until the rank comes, So that kept me motivated.
So if I have to ask you, during this time, you might have made certain sacrifices, certain hobbies that you liked or certain interests that you had, some things that you couldn't indulge in how much you wanted to. So what was that hardest goodbye that you had to say to something?
Well, it was really my love of reading books. I like reading fiction. So that obviously had to go. It takes up a lot of time. It's a time-taking hobby. So I couldn't indulge in that. I read theory books for JEE Advanced, so that was kind of a substitute. I had to make do. Yeah, and I couldn't go on any trips, vacations. Those were cancelled because of the JEE.
Hopefully after the result you can take numerous trips, you can read as many books as you want and compensate for all the lost time. Now talking about subjects, right, in your preparation, every child or every student has those kind of subjects which they find very challenging and some subjects which haunt them even in their dreams. So which was that subject for you?
Well, it was really mathematics, but it's not particularly mathematics in general that scares me. It's JEE mathematics is a different game from normal maths. It's competitive, right? It's time based. So that was really what got to me. I couldn't finish my paper in time, even in the actual exam, but I never panicked in that sense. And my teacher, Siddesh sir, he always told me to stay calm. There are other subjects you can score easily, and in maths you need not score full. you can score less marks than full, you'll still get a good result, and his words came true.
Right, but looks like even mathematics didn't seem like a challenge for you looking at your result, right? So if you would, touching on this subject of challenges and weaknesses, when students are appearing for the exam and attempting the paper, what would your advice be? Like, should they start from their strength areas or first finish up whatever their weaker areas are? Like, what would you like to tell them?
But in the preparation phase, really you should be working on your weaknesses and never be scared to attempt something you don't know. You should ask your doubts. Whatever concepts you don't understand, you should really get them cleared. That is the only thing which will help you in the actual exam. Practice is obviously important, but practice in a organized way. You should go for your weaknesses first, and when you are actually doing the exam, you should go for your strengths first, because that will give you confidence. Like personally, I would say in my paper 2, initially I was not sure if this is a difficult paper or an easy paper. So I went for my strengths first. That gave me the confidence to go forward and finish the other questions. But if I had gone for the difficult ones first, then I would not have been able to finish the paper like I did. So definitely that matters a lot. You should go for your strengths in the paper, but in preparation you should go for your weaknesses.
Talking about, hurdles and challenges, I'm sure there must have been days where you were very overwhelmed by certain situations and tasks, right? So how did you overcome all of that?
Well, overwhelmed, it's like it can be challenging at times, of course, and there were days when I thought that maybe I won't be able to live up to my potential, but those days I only told myself that thinking about my future won't work. I have to actually do something. So I chose to study, and it works. It's not that difficult when you think about it. If you don't have your goal clear in mind, then you might face hurdles. You might think about switching over, changing your goal. But if you are clear that I want to do this, then you should just keep on going in that direction. Just don't give up.
Now, many students, right, when they're preparing, many of them have this confusion like how important is solving previous year questions or mock tests? What do you have to say? What significant role do they play in the entire preparation journey?
Well, previous year questions are definitely, everybody who's preparing for any exam, they should really see the previous year questions, because mock tests, they are mock tests, but they do not really represent the actual exam. The actual exam, the paper setters of the actual exam, they think in a different way. So when you look at the previous year papers, that's when you really get to know what the exam actually wants to ask you. And when I initially did not look at the previous year questions, my preparation was kind of not going in the right direction. But then I looked at the previous year questions, I got an idea. So then I realized I should focus my efforts in which direction. Yeah.
Right. So they basically help you identify your strengths and weaknesses, right? Now, if I have to talk about the Narayana ecosystem, right? What role do you think that has played in shaping your success?
Well, one key feature I would like to highlight is we have many tests. Like every week we have 2 tests, and that is at least 2 tests. Like we have additional tests also, but majorly I am saying 2 tests. So those 2 tests, like one was weekly, like the weekly syllabus, and one was cumulative. So they keep you on your toes. You never have time to slack off or think that maybe I should relax a bit. You always keep preparing for the next test, and you formalize your strategy. I should attempt chemistry first, then do this, then I should maybe skip the difficult questions first, maybe do the easy ones. All those strategies you can't come up with theoretically. You have to try them out in many tests. Like I have given more than 250 tests in Narayana system. So that really helped me in the final exam, when I realized I had to conserve my time for the easy questions. That was my strategy. So that strategy could not have been formed without giving so many tests.
And that strategy has absolutely worked for you. Let's rewind a bit. Let's take you back to the exam day. First of all, I want to understand from you, what was more difficult for you, the exam day or the result day?
Well, the exam day was definitely more difficult. It is the anticipation that gets you. It's more like you know everything. Like you have prepared so hard. Every question you can do. It's just, will you be able to do it in the actual exam? That is the difference. And when I gave the paper 1, I really thought, well, it could have gone better. I could have scored full marks in paper 1. That was my thinking. But I thought we should treat paper 2 as a separate paper. That's what everybody advised me. So yeah, paper 2 was very different from paper 1. So you should never let those things intermingle, you should keep them separate. You should prepare for every paper differently.
But taking you back to the paper 2 exam day, right, when you looked at the question paper, what was your initial reaction? Were you confident or were you nervous looking at it?
The first few questions I was very confident. I speed ran them, but after a few questions I started to realize, well, this is getting tougher. Maybe I should switch subjects. So I did switch subject for a while, then switched back. It was part of my strategy, to go for the easy questions first in whichever subject they are. So exam day, that pressure was very different. I had faced that pressure many times in mock tests also, so I knew how to deal with it.
Yeah. So mock tests in a way helped you dealing with that stress, right? Now reflecting back on your entire preparation journey, if I have to ask you, which is that one memory that you will cherish for lifelong? Which one would that be?
It was really my chemistry teacher, Sukesh sir. Well, he always said, don't try to focus too much on the exceptions, on the things you can't remember. Focus on what you can remember. In the exam, 99% of the questions you will be able to do very easily. That gave me the confidence. That was my cherished memory. I held on to that even after the exam.
Coming to your final question, if you could offer one advice to the fellow aspirants out there, what would that be?
Believe in yourself. There is nothing you can't achieve if you put in the hard work. And every day just tell yourself what your goal really is. Don't lie to yourself. Keep very clear, this is my goal and today I will study for it. That's it. You'll be able to crack it easily.
Thank you, Sahil, for sharing such great insights, and I'm sure it's going to inspire everyone out there, and these cheat codes and tricks of yours are going to come very handy for all the aspirants out there. So everyone out there, keep dreaming and keep working towards your goal, as Sahil rightly mentioned, and that will help you achieve your success, because at Narayana, your dreams are our dreams. Thank you so much for joining us.